Hello, welcome back to our quiet corner. Let me ask you a few honest questions today. Why are we so terrified of being ordinary? Why did we start believing that a life without online applause or social media likes is a wasted life? Have you ever felt completely exhausted from trying to prove your value to people who do not even care? What if the truest form of freedom is not in being noticed by everyone, but in the beautiful, peaceful art of being forgotten? Today, let's stop running. Let's sit down together and listen to a story about a man who had everything the world worships, but found his true self only when he lost it all. Years ago, in a loud, crowded city, there lived a man named David. David was the definition of successful. He was a top manager in a big company, drove an expensive car, and his phone never stopped ringing. On social media, thousands of people followed his life. To the world, David was a king. But inside his chest, David felt like a ghost. Every morning he woke up with a heavy heart. Every night he went to bed with anxiety. He was trapped in a relentless race that had no finish line. He realized that the more famous and successful he became, the more he became a stranger to his own soul. One evening, after working for 14 hours straight, David stood by his office window looking down at the city lights. Suddenly, he couldn't breathe. His heart was beating like a wild animal in a cage. In that moment of darkness, a quiet voice inside him asked, "If you disappear tomorrow, will any of these people truly miss you? Or are you just a machine to them?" The next Monday, David did something that shocked everyone. He resigned from his high-paying job. He deleted his social media accounts, packed one small suitcase, and bought a one-way ticket to a tiny, forgotten village near the mountains. When he arrived, the silence was deafening. There were no traffic jams, no flashing screens, and no one knew his name. To the locals, he wasn't a successful manager. He was just David, a quiet neighbor. At first, the silence made him uncomfortable. When your mind is used to constant noise, peace feels like a punishment. He missed the validation of his phone buzzing. He felt the phantom itch of wanting to show the world what he was doing. But David decided to endure. He bought an old house with a small garden and started planting flowers and vegetables. He learned to watch the sunrise without taking a picture of it. He learned to drink his morning coffee while listening to the birds, rather than reading negative news. For the first time in his life, he was fully present in the moment. One afternoon, an old villager named Thomas saw David working in his garden and sat down next to him. Thomas looked at David's tired hands and said, "You know, David, modern humans make a big mistake. They want to be like tall monuments that everyone looks at. But monuments are cold, hard, and lonely. It is much better to be like the grass. No one applauds the grass, but it brings life to the earth. It breathes and it feels the rain." Those simple words completely alleviated David's inner pain. He understood that he didn't need to be a monument anymore. He didn't need to be remembered by the world to have a meaningful life. Years passed. David's expensive clothes faded. His skin became tanned by the sun, and his face developed gentle smile lines. He became forgotten by his old friends, his old company, and his online followers. But in that unimportance, he found an ineffable peace. He discovered that when you stop living for the eyes of others, you finally start living for yourself. He was no longer a prisoner of public opinion. He was free. My dear friend, look at your life today. Are you also running in a race that is making you miserable? We live in a society that tells us that if we are not famous, rich, or extraordinary, we are nothing. But that is a lie. Nature does not live for applause. The deep forest grows in silence. The ocean waves crash on empty shores without waiting for anyone to watch them. They simply exist because that is their purpose. You do not need to prove anything to anyone. It is okay if your life is quiet. It is okay if you prefer a small circle of true friends over 1,000 online followers. Your value is not measured by how many people know your name, but by how much peace you carry in your heart. So take a deep breath. Let go of the heavy burden of trying to impress a world that forgets everything in a second. Embrace the quiet moments. Learn the art of being forgotten because sometimes being hidden is the only way to protect your beautiful soul. Thank you for staying with me until the very end. I hope David's story brought a moment of clarity and peace to your heart while helping you practice your English listening today. If this message made you feel a little less alone in this chaotic world, and if you want to continue this beautiful journey of self-discovery and learning with me, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel. Your presence here means the world to this growing family. Take care of your heart, be kind to your soul, and I will see you in the next episode. Until next time.